So I was talking smack about the $5 mount that I got from Five and Below, but come to find out, I think I don't know, I did something with it to where it just wasn't sticking anymore. I hope y'all don't fall down. Child. But anyways, so I needed to try, I don't know, I still don't like this setup, but it's gonna have to do for now. It's just gonna have to do. But I was trying to figure out, I haven't been on live in a few days. I was trying to figure out like what topic to discuss when I'm on my lunch break. I'm on my lunch break right now. And was just trying to figure out like what to talk about. And so I did, with the help of my sister, figure out what to do. So I created an account for Reddit, and sorry about the whole car noises and everything, but I'm in the garage right now, so a lot of people are going on break, and yeah, y'all just don't have to be okay with that. But I found an interesting topic on Reddit. She was like, why don't you just come up with a topic or find a topic on Reddit, that way you can still be consistent in between videos you want to create. I've been trying to figure out like where I want to go content wise, and it is a little bit challenging because, like I mentioned before on my platform, is that this takes work as far as being consistent. So eventually I know I'll figure out what to do, but I did find an interesting topic on Reddit. I had to print it out because I don't have an iPad, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just have to improvise and just print out this story or topic. But I found it on Reddit, and the topic is, I resigned today, did I make a mistake? And this is by a person, their username on here is Antique Rich 8268. So I'm gonna read this. It's a little bit lengthy, but it's okay. It's interesting. And then I'll give my take on it. But it reads, I resigned today. Boss took it badly, and now I'm having second thoughts. See below. I worked for a small company for almost 6 years now. I had a mid to senior position at the company and a very good relationship with the family that owns it. I work directly under the CEO right now. After I came back from my maternity leave, I decided that this company is essentially dead end, and there's no growth for me here since there's no positions for me to move into. They are a small mom and pop shop, and they regularly have cash flow issues. I don't believe they're going out of business or anything, but it's just a small company that has plateaued. They also haven't given me a raise since 2020. And y'all, right now we're in 2025, and this was actually uploaded today, I believe. So in about 5 years, this person hasn't gotten a raise. And when I asked for a $15,000 raise last year, they said they can't afford it and denied me even $5,000. Just nothing. Not even anything to cover inflation. And inflation right now is insane, as you all know. Like, everything has gone up. Groceries, you name it, rent, gas. It's too much. Well, after a month of looking this year, I got an offer at a huge company, same type of role, but lots of growth potential since it's a big company with lots of positions above me. I will be getting an $11,000 raise, way better benefits, and even an in-house pension. It's also fully remote, and we all know anyone will kind of be satisfied with a remote position. I accepted the job. At the same time this happened, my boss at my current job asked me to start working 3 days per week from the office. I've been fully remote since 2020. I ended up having a disagreement about this with him, and we ended up having a meeting over it as it turned. It's kind of lengthy, but I'm going to get to it. Into a pretty big argument. I told him I had to think about it. I have to think about if it works for me long term. Well, he didn't know I had another job lined up. So when I went in today for a meeting to give my notice, he was shocked. How are you shocked she gave a notice and you wasn't even giving her a raise? He was playing shocked. Child, he was playing shocked. He actually started tearing up a bit. Crocodile tears. I'm joking, y'all. But asked me if I'm sure this is what I wanted. Why I'm making this decision. I reiterated the flexibility is worth money to me, and that being taken away, plus my below average compensation for my role, it's just not going to work for me. He said that this isn't the conclusion he thought I'd come to, and he's really taken aback. He then implied that I would have gotten a raise soon, and that when I asked last year, he just needed more time training me on some more stuff, but then I went on maternity leave shortly after, so there was a time constraint. This is BS again. They had lots of time to give me a raise and didn't even give me a small bump out of a good faith when I asked, which I completely agree. All in all, he was so sad, almost cried, kept hugging me and saying, I've been such a valuable member. They're going to miss me. I've been here since the company took off, etc., etc. The reason I started applying for new roles is because I often felt like a loser in my professional life. Because I was at a dead-end company making pretty crappy pay, $70,000 per year with no inflation raises and no signs of promotions even being available to me as I was at my ceiling. So $70,000 to me, although this is this person's take on this, or I can say on her take on this, crappy pay $70,000. A lot of people appreciate $70,000. But then again, it also depends on where you live, because $70,000, I believe, in like California or New York, from what I've heard, isn't the best pay because it's so pricey out there. However, as a mom, the flexibility it provided me, how laid back my bosses were, etc., was a source of comfort for me. I can take the kids to the park during the day, prep dinner, pick up my kids from daycare whenever I feel like it, etc. I was having second thoughts last night, but decided to look at the root issue and why I started applying for jobs in the first place. I was reminded that staying here wouldn't solve the root issue I had, which is that I was still at a dead-end company, and even though it gave me comfort and flexibility is being taken away in a sense, and I will never grow if I just make decisions off comfort, and it won't solve the root issue I had, which is a mental issue of knowing I can be further along at this point in my career. However, the CEO's reaction, which was also my boss, doesn't make me feel any better, and now I just am even more nervous that I let this job go. What if the new job sucks and isn't flexible in terms of management? What if it's toxic? What if I get laid off since it's a big company, et cetera, et cetera? So many things going through my head. And even though I feel this was the right choice, long term, I still have doubts. Edited to add, my boss does not know I have another job. I did not disclose this to him. I told him I am leaving as long term, it won't work for me. And when he asked why I don't stay on board a bit longer until I find something, I made up an excuse as to why it was only 2 weeks notice. I also do not feel I did the wrong thing or did wrong by my boss. The reason I'm having jitters and doubts is because this job did provide me a sense of security, flexibility, and a lax culture that is valuable to someone like me who wants to pick up my kids whenever I want, etc. I do not in any way feel guilty, though, for making this decision because of my boss. My boss reaction. I brought it up is because it kind of makes me feel even more like I'm giving up something that, while yes, in crappy ways, is a sure thing, aka they won't fire me, etc. Listen here, this is my opinion on this very lengthy Reddit story. So she basically wanted to know, or asked the Reddit platform, if she made a mistake. To me, and it's my opinion, I don't think she made a mistake. So whenever you're starting something new, whether it's a job, school, whatever it is you start new, you're going to be nervous. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have questions. But the thing is, this sounds like she came up. She's getting the raise that she wanted. Okay, so she asked for a $15,000 raise from her old employer. With this new position, she's basically getting an $11,000 raise, and that's close. That's close enough. That's good, actually. The old employer was asking her to come in 3 days out of the week, and prior to them asking, she was 100% remote. At the new job, it's 100% remote. Now, I do understand, because she's starting a new job, and with the state of what's going on right now, we understand that a lot of layoffs are going on. So I think that makes sense as to why she would feel kind of uneasy about that. But she hasn't even started yet, from what I'm understanding. So that could be worked on later on, if that does happen, if she ends up in that situation. But the thing is, that's smart, is that she did not let her old employer know that she basically got a new job. So she's leaving on good terms, meaning if she does get off from that, from the new position that she's going to start, then that means she still has the opportunity to go back to her old employer. They don't know you got a new job. So you could just be like, well, I've had a change of heart. I was wondering if I can get my old position back. But the only thing is, I don't believe in playing with the old employer's emotions like that if she was to find another opportunity. So if she were to get laid off from the new job, she would have two options: either to return to her old employer, or just stick it out until she found another job. But this just sounds like more so of doubts. And I'm pretty sure she did say the next job is going to be 100% remote. But my thing, yeah, you know what? You can still have a toxic environment even if you do work remote. I remember I was working this one remote job. I was so grateful to get that job. It was about a $20,000 increase from the previous job that I had before that. And they were a toxic company. So I'm pretty sure she's referring to the fact that it might be a toxic manager that makes her workload a little bit more hectic or a little bit too much. I was more so thinking about coworkers and everything, but child, you working from home. But yeah, your manager can make your workload stressful or just be a stressful individual. Okay, so back to the job that I had. Y'all, when I tell you, I was so shocked, because I thought working from home, yeah, you got your work to do. It may be a lot, whatever the case may be, but I was so stressed out. And I had never had experience in this role, because I was a oh goodness, I forgot the title, but it was assisting people. You know, it was during the pandemic, and it was assisting people with rent and everything. And so when I tell you, it was like back to back, you had to make sure your queue was always like cleared out. It's like you can get the person's case today and they want the outcome of it like tomorrow morning. Like, dang, can I? And yet you got like 20, 30 nonstop, like it's ongoing, to the point I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is stressful. And this was actually a remote position. That was my first experience in understanding that just because you're remote, it don't mean that equates to it not being stressful. If anything, it could be more stressful than going in. And now I have a job where I actually do have to go in, and yeah, it can be stressful, but that old remote job I had, in the trash. 0 out of 10. Well, let me say 2 out of 10. Only thing was like the income. My income was better. But back to this Reddit story. Okay. Also, she's looking for flexibility. She just had a baby. So, although I don't have kids yet, I don't have that going on, I believe, just like with my friends, like what they share with me, family is priority. So Of course, you want a job that can be flexible when it comes to your family. She's a new mom, or yeah, basically a new mom. I don't know if she have other kids, but she wants a job where she can be able to focus on her family as well, right? So, got an increase in pay, 100% remote position. And as far as her employer crying, her manager like tearing up and everything, and I'm pretty sure they had a great relationship. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. Like, you really have to do what's best for you, whether it comes to family, friends, career, whatever the case may be. You have to make sure that whatever you decide to do, that it fits you, that it's what you're looking for. Like I said before, I think it's smart that she didn't let her old employer know that she did get a new job. But from the looks of it, she gonna be good. Let me see what else I wanted to cover. Because that's insane. How is it if you working from home 100%, then your employer asking you, can you come in 3 days out the week? You know what's next. They're going to ask, oh, can you come in 5 days per week? Nah, if we started 100% remote, let's keep it like that. So, let's see. Okay. Another thing she said was, it was no space to grow. So the job that she was at and the role that she was in, that's the role that she was going to stay in. So no room for growth. But in this other opportunity, there is room for her to grow and to excel. That's a major plus. And already if this person is feeling like they're just at a dead-end job in a sense, then she took it upon herself to find another job, which is a really good thing. That's what we should all be striving for, is to just do more, do better. She could take her kids to the park, prep dinner. Girl, go ahead. You got it going on. Pick up her kids from daycare. Okay, so she does have more kids. She said kids with an S and daycare. That's all I needed to see. Because from what I've heard from friends, daycare is the cost of a mortgage. Yeah, so I think she came up. I think she came up that this was the best decision for her. And let me tell you something. These jobs will suck you dry. They will suck you dry. Okay, so you basically, like I said, you have to make the right decision for yourself. And you have to look out for you. Of course, perform as best as you can, but do it. It's so many times. This just brings me back to where I was working a lot of jobs, like when I was in college, and I was the type of individual, and let me know if you can relate as well. I didn't take no junk from nobody. I did not take anything from anybody. I don't care what position they were in, because I'm the type that I like to do my work and keep it moving. Clock in, clock out. When I'm there, I do what I need to do, and I do it to the best of my abilities. If you see that I also should be improving in a certain area, communicate that with me. But yeah, and I was just working at a lot of jobs where, because of the type of roles that they were at that time, because when you're in school, you working full-time is not the best recommendation. But because people may have like a stereotype about you, maybe because of your age, race, whatever it is, they feel like they could treat you any type of way. They feel like they could talk to you any type or whatever. And baby, one thing about it, and two things for sure, I did not buck down. I did not buck down. And what I mean is, you'll have people. I remember it was one position that I had working at a hospital, and there was an RN there, and she was there for probably a month or so she was fairly new. And I don't know, it's because she's from down south. Sometimes people from that way, like Miami or whatever, Broward, whatever. They tend to have like a certain, like they, whatever, feeling big. So She caught herself saying something slick to me, and I was like, excuse me? I said what I needed to say. She said, I don't care, because whatever role somebody is in, whatever job they have, you treat everybody with respect. You treat with everyone with respect. You could see a janitor. Are you going to treat a janitor different from a doctor? And that's one thing I never agreed with. Just because somebody has credentials in the front of their name, back of their name, I don't care. You always treat somebody with a level of respect. You treat people like how you want to be treated. And so I think she did go to the manager for me, and I didn't back down either. I don't care. Listen, not saying you should go around and just saying whatever, but I don't believe in standing down when it comes to people just talking to you in a certain way. I don't care. I'm not taking it. Maybe now I've calmed down, with age and everything, and I know how to provide my thoughts without going so far. But it's just, and not having some support from an employer just because of your role, that makes you feel like, well, what's the point of me being here? Several stories like that where it's just be like, dang. Or you have those older women that love to get into it with younger women, and you dealing with BS from both sides. It's just a lot. So you always have, what I'm trying to say is, you always have to find a way to stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Do what you need to do to make sure you're straight. And even though that was years back that happened, now these days, it's horrible. This economy is horrible. And I have a few videos on my channel about like ways to find new employment. Oh my gosh, I got a message the other day from a post that I commented on a couple weeks ago. And it was somebody that was just like, thank you. I use the tips because she's real cool. I follow her on YouTube. She was like, I used your tips, and I've been having more people like reach out to me. And that just made me feel so good, because right now people are really like losing their jobs. They're losing their jobs. They're being terminated, laid off, you name it. Some of them don't even qualify for unemployment because of how they're wording, the letter for the employees, just so they don't get unemployment. So these are crazy times that we're living in. So I try my best to share my knowledge, because part of my job is trying to help people get jobs as well. So I've learned a lot from this current role that I'm in. It's a variety of things I do, but it just feels good to help people. So I think this person that shared their story on Reddit made the best decision. At the end of the day, she didn't leave on bad terms. And if you can, try not to leave a job on bad terms, because years ago I was told this, but you don't want to burn bridges, right? And my thought process when I was in my like early 20s was, never get that. I don't care, like whatever. But I've, as time has gone on, I'm like, it's best to try your best to leave an employer on good terms. Don't go off on those people. Don't set it off or nothing. But, just try your best to leave on good terms as best as possible. So yeah, some of the tips I have is, this is another tip I want to share that I forgot to include in one of the videos that I put when it comes to looking for a job. Once you land an interview, all right, write this down. Once you land an interview, be sure that you email the company that interviewed you thank you, like a thank you email, like thank you so much. If you want to mail it off or email it, whichever is easier, do it. But just tell them thank you for giving you, thank them for giving you the opportunity to interview with them. And it helps you like stand out. My friend shared this with me when, I think it was after I graduated from FAMU. This was with my bachelor's. She gave me that recommendation, and it actually helped out. Like I landed a couple roles just by doing that. Employers might look at that as, oh, that's different. I've never had somebody do that for me. So that's a tip I could provide. But yeah, so I think, oh, sorry, y'all, my light went off. You know, I've been in here for my lunch break for a little minute, so lights off. But yeah, I think what I'll be doing when I'm on my break is these Reddit stories. I find them interesting. I think I'll find, you know, different categories. I think they're interesting. There are some crazy stories on there, but yeah. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask them. I have a few minutes left on my break, and I'm gonna just chill. But thanks for watching this live. I'm watching people walk by, y'all. I don't know, like that girl talking to herself, but who cares? You got to get that content out, right? So let me know if you have questions. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and tell me what you think about what I read to you. Like, do you feel like she made the best decision? Do you feel that she could have handled the situation a little bit better? What would you have done if this was you in this position to where, you know, you're at a dead end, you feel like you're at a dead end job? Because to me, it sounded like it was kind of like a pretty laid back job. But if you were her, how would you handle this situation? Would you look for other jobs? Would you just, you know, feel comfortable, stay? What would you do? So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all later.